webinar series today. So hope you all had your lunch, and are you all ready for our webinar series for our next slot? If you guys are ready, you can actually put in our chat box that you guys are ready for our next slot.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. We want an interactive session today.
We can type there ready in the chat box.
Everyone is ready, yeah.
Ready? Come on, guys. Let's see some excitement here. All right. That's good. Okay, so before we invite the speaker for this afternoon, let me share with you all a brief introduction about himself. He has been an international speaker at the tender age of 17, and he has coached many individuals from various countries, such as in US, Australia, and many more countries. He's a chief strategist and he's also a leadership coach. Besides that, he has coached many industry leaders here from Petronas, Sime Darby, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, and many more. He has also received many recognitions and awards, and his recent award was the 101 Most Famous Global Coaching Leaders Award for the year 2020. And currently, he holds role as the president of Malaysian Associate of Professional Trainers and Coaches. So without further ado, let us welcome Mr. Sunil Hasmukharay for our session today. Good
Thank
afternoon,
you.
Mr. Sunil.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for your kind introduction.
You're welcome,
Hello,
sir.
everyone. Can we have everyone to sort of, either put a thumbs up or a wave or something like that so we know that you are here? The most difficult session to always do is just before lunch or just after lunch. So it's going to be a very interesting situation for me to keep all of you wide awake, okay? All right, so thank you very much for having me. I will just share the screen. If I can find the slide. Yep, here you go. Right, so first and foremost, I think thank you very much, Helen and Marcella and the team for inviting me to share with you. It's definitely an honor and pleasure to always connect with, my dear young brothers and sisters to share what, could be possible, what our own experiences are, so that you will be able to shorten your learning curve and achieve greater success, because only when you learn from others, you will be able to expedite your process. So I'm very, very eager and excited to share with you some of those things that has been working well, some which didn't work well. And you probably hear me say and share with you things that I failed on more compared to the successes, because it's better for you to learn from my failures than the success itself, right? So just let me set a bit of a context, yeah, to understand where we are, right? This is a little bit about me, right? Whole loads of things, whole loads of certifications and awards and all that. It did not come easy. It was real hard work. And I want to thank, the people behind my inspiration, which is my family, right? Especially my mother, father, and sister, who have been guiding me and giving me all the ideas and thoughts and, motivating me whenever I fall. Let me give you a good example of what happened when I was about to start my master's. Working in Petronas while trying to kick off your master's was one of the greatest nightmares. Not to include the fact that I was also involved with Road Track Club and few other clubs and societies, like how a lot of you are involved, and that's a fantastic thing that you're doing, right? Can you imagine you go to work by 7 o'clock, you finish work at 6:30 in the evening, you run into your MBA class, and then at night when you come back, you got to sit and finish up your assignments because next day is submission. Then you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And in that process, the kind of challenges that I went through, the kind of failures that I went through was just incredible, right? But I think this was real moments of truth and real moments of learning. And I'll share with you a real example, a real situation, right, where I literally was close to death before I could move on. So let me share with you a few more things before I go on to that story, because that's probably going to be the highlight for your learning, right? So we live in the 21st century, all right, and you all know that. And 21st century, I like to always, sort of share this, okay, where our communication is wireless, our business is cashless, our telephone is cordless, our cooking is fireless, our youths are jobless, which is what's going on in today's time and age. Our faith is godless, our labor is effortless, our conduct is worthless, our relations are loveless, our attitude is careless, our feelings are heartless, our politics at times shameless, our education sometimes valueless, our follies are countless, our arguments are baseless, our commitments are aimless, and sometimes our life is meaningless. And this is the reality of life, right? We need to start discovering the passion and purpose in our life, because only when you discover what your passion is and you operate from your passion, you will find that, whether it's day or night, it does not matter, right? Remember the very famous peribahasa that they always talk about, mandi tak basah, makan tak kenyang, that kind of thing, right? And that's what happens when you're so madly in love, right? So can you imagine if you are so madly in love with your life? That's exactly what will happen. You'll be so excited to do so many things, and you will not actually realize that, oh my God, all these things are burden. The word burden, the word tired, the word exhaustion will somewhat never be there in your dictionary if you are doing things that you truly, truly enjoy, right? So what I hope that you will do is to start really spending time to reflect, right? This MCO should be your best opportunity to really spend time within yourself, to really reflect on what you are doing, what is your purpose, where are you going, right? Or are you just shooting aimlessly trying to move forward, right? Oops, I forgot there was two more points there. Our bosses hopeless and our salary very, very less. Okay, don't worry, when you come into the working world, you probably recognize this, some of these points. These are the realities of life, and the truth is a lot of challenges young people are going through, right? Which is going to add no greater value if you continue doing the same. This is a very interesting slide, which was actually from a research done, right, by Job Street, where fresh graduates are demanding and wanting a salary of 6,500, right? For a few of you who were listening to the talk the other day when I gave about, the 5 secrets of you being able to get yourself employed during this whole MCO and post-COVID, right? Might have heard me share this, and I'll probably repeat a little bit for the benefit of others who were not able to join us. You can ask for a salary of your choice, but the question is this: what is the value and return on investment that an employer would get? You need to sharpen your skills so much and become so good that even if you ask for a 10,000 ringgit salary, people are willing to give you 10,000, because they know if you give you a 10,000 ringgit, you will give them back in multi-folds of return, right? I had the opportunity to interview about 40 over people, graduates, right? And in fact, one was an experienced person, the rest were graduates who were looking for a job. And I was willing to hire them in one of my subsidiary companies. And interesting enough, this particular person comes up to me and tells me, you know what, Sunil, we want a salary of, no, I want a salary of at least 6,000 ringgit. And I was the shock of my life. Fresh graduate asking for 6,000 ringgit. That's incredible. So I said, sure, tell me, if I were to give you 6,000 ringgit, what kind of, targets will you be achieving, and how much are you going to be making sure that I earn back enough to continue paying you? Oh, that I cannot give you a guarantee, sir, but I am very good in doing A, B, C, D, E. Now, if you come and sell your so-called skill without evidence, right, it has no use. Because verbally saying that you are good at ABC without successful evidence of what you have done is as good as having nothing. So I give you a good example of what you are doing now, right? During this particular lockdown period where universities is closed and you're not able to go into the campus and have fun with your friends and classes and all that, what you are doing is you are initiating this kind of initiatives. Now suppose Helen or Marcella or any one of the committee members, right, upon your graduation comes up to me and now asks me for a job, and I ask you a question. So tell me, what have you done that you are eager to ask for a 6,000 ringgit salary? How sure are you'll be able to add value to me? That's the time you get a chance to now share the story of what you have successfully done. Once, during the lockdown where everybody became very unproductive and there's nothing much we could do because we was a movement restriction order, immediately my team and we decided to host online webinars where we got industry experts to do this. We hosted this, and you tell the whole story of your experience. And you know what? That will be your key selling point. Why? Because now when you tell me that story, it will show me that you have got initiative. It shows me that you are a time optimizer and you do not want to waste time. It shows me that you got leadership traits. It shows me you have got good communication skills, right? Because for you to randomly go onto LinkedIn and start sending a message to a professional speaker or a trainer or a CEO of an organization takes a lot of courage, right? Now, these are the traits, right, that I will discover in you by virtue of you just being able to host or organize something like this. Can you see where I'm coming from? This is how we will decide whether we want to hire anyone or we choose not to. If you get excited and try to publish in your CV all the different, what do you call, subjects that you have studied, all right, and all the different kind of assignment titles that your lecturers have given you, right? You think that's going to be something of value to a corporate space? No, it won't. But if you can come and tell stories of you being involved in club, society, convo fair, this initiative, those social initiatives, you will find that people are going to be so excited to listen to you, and they will want to now hire you because it shows a lot of your values. It shows a lot of your proactive behaviors. All right. So these are some of the tips, that I can just pick up from the conversation about being able to demand for a higher salary. And like I shared with many people during the few workshops that I was conducting before, one of those things that you may want to really explore is be proactive to ask HR leaders, okay, and HR people an opportunity to do internship so that you do not even need to worry about whether you get an opportunity for a job or not. Because the secret is this: you go in, instead of doing nothing for 3 months, right? You actually go into the organization, allow yourself to learn, allow yourself to experience, and even if you don't earn a single dollar, that experience itself is your wealth. That experience itself is going to give you enough of opportunity and enough of possibilities as you move forward. So always remember, the key word here would be, what is the value that you create for organization, right? I want to share with you a story. And then before I go to the story, it is not that I should be speaking all the while, because I really, really want to, all right, have a conversation with all of you. So along the way, please post your questions on the chat box, or you can, sort of raise your hand, and any of the co-hosts and host will unmute you so you can ask questions. Interrupt me at any point of time and at every point of time, because the more questions you ask me, the more you probably learn, right? So while waiting for questions to come in, let me let me share with you this story. So this camel, right, was actually having a conversation with the cup. So you know what is a cup, right? Cup is the anak camel. Okay. So the conversation was between the mother and the child. So the child asked the mother, Mother, I have one question for you. Yes, my child. Mother, why is it that we are born with such long, strong legs? Ah, my child, We are born with long, strong legs so that we will be able to actually walk for miles and miles in the desert. Oh, wow. Mother, that's amazing. Mother, one more question, please. Yes, my child. Mother, why is it that, in Malaysia, a lot of the beautiful girls will go to the nearest mall and buy these long eyelashes, and then they will paste it using some kind of a gum? Mother said, "Oh, my child, don't say that loud. Many people will feel ashamed. But you know what? We are born with long, beautiful eyelashes so that when we walk for miles and miles in the desert, we will be able to protect our eyes because of the sandstorm." Wow, that is amazing. We have got long, strong legs to walk in the desert for miles. We have got beautiful long eyelashes to protect our eyes during the sandstorm. And mother, I've got one more question. Had it been a Malaysian typical mother, the mother will say, "Shut up, enough of questions, go do your work." But this was a bit of a different species. And because this mother was of a different species, the mother said, "Yes, my child, what is your question?" Mother, you know, everybody that I know, my friends, they are all working so hard and they try to go to the gym. And now that they cannot go to the gym, they try to exercise at home and they are hoping to lose some weight, right? But MCO causes us to put on weight. However, they are trying their level best to lose some weight so they get this nice 36, 24, 36 body figure. But mother, we are born with it. The only difference is human wants to actually get a nice 36, 24, 36 body on a vertical note, but we have it on a horizontal note. Why is that so? Ah, my child, I know you are referring to the hump. Aha. Mother, tell me more. What is this hump for, my child? The hump is so that you will be able to store water, and so that when you walk for miles and miles in the desert, you will be able to remain hydrated and be alive, because water is not easy to be found in the desert. Now the child got all confused, irritated, pissed off, angry with the mother. "Mother, I don't understand this. If we have long, strong legs to walk for miles in the desert, if we have long, beautiful eyelashes so that we'll be able to protect our eyes from sandstorm in the desert, and we have got a hump to store water so that we are safe and hydrated for miles and miles during our walk in the desert, what on earth are we doing at Jalan Ampang Zoo Negara, Kuala Lumpur?" Now, my dear friends, think about it. How is this story relevant to your life? How is this story so directly replicating and reflection of us can be in there? So I will give you 5 minutes and I want you to type out in the chat box, what do you think is the relationship between the story that I just shared with you and our human life? All right? So your 5 minutes starts now. All right, so we have got some very interesting thoughts here, right? Number one, Priscilla says settling for less or not maximizing potential. All right, you have huge potential in yourself, but your surrounding is holding you until you can't show how much capable you are. Very well said, Priscilla and Hazim, right? Nelly says we have to see, all right, all the things we have in life is a blessing and be proud of them, right? Jane says optimize everything that you have and unleash your potential. Wonderful. Let's see what else have you all got to say. Okay, Esme says sometimes things are beyond our control. All right, that's a very interesting way of looking at it. Okay, all their abilities are only useful in certain places, which is in the desert. All right, that's what she says. Right, use your value at the right environment. Okay, Helen says perspective and mindset. Right, so some of you have really gotten into that thinking space, and I thank you very much. Okay, so for actively participating, and that's how this whole workshop is going to be. It's not me talking and you are just listening. Yeah, because then the biryani and the rice and the dal and the curry is going to get to you at some point, and you'll probably be snoring away and like, and the Zoom will still be on because you are supposed to be in attendance for the session. Right, so what's really important is to recognize that each and every one of us are born with a lot of potential, but what is becoming the jail is the mind. What is becoming the showstopper for us to become successful, the showstopper for us to become who we are destined to become, who we are capable to become, is actually nothing but our mindset. So in life, you always have a choice. The choice is whether you want to look at something from a positive perspective or negative perspective. When you look at things from a positive perspective, it is about looking at everything from a appreciative lens. All right? Appreciative lens. Or you can look at life from a very negative perspective, and that means you are looking at everything from a deficit lens, right? So you can choose to look at life from an appreciative perspective, or you can choose to look at life from a deficit perspective. And either way, it is not wrong. Okay, it is definitely going to be something that will eventually be your destiny. Whatever you do, it's going to happen, right? So my dear friends, learn to be one like the cup or the anak camel who is very, very curious to ask. Your curiosity will give you an opportunity to learn a lot. Be hungry for knowledge, be hungry for experience, because that knowledge and that experience is going to take you very, very far in life, immaterial of what the experience may be. All right. Now, we all know how the situation is in the market. We are currently in a very interesting time of life where there is oil price crisis, there is some political changes that happen, and we have got our dear friend called Miss COVID, who has come and started destroying the lives of many people, right? So now you have got three jeopardies that is happening in the country at the same time. And just even when economic situations were bad back in 2015, 2016, all right, we are looking at people who have lost their jobs. And today, close to 700,000 people have been retrenched. And we are foreseeing that this number is going to hit about 2 million people. So can you imagine, close to 2 million people will be losing their job and will not have jobs, right, by the year end. And that's the kind of crisis, right, that we are all in. So there must be some things that you can still do that will make you successful, right? So that's what we want to talk about, and that's what we want to have a conversation around. All right. So these are all the evidence and stats. Now, I remember sharing this with some people the other day, and I'm going to share this again. Many at times, right, when we interview, students come up to us who are graduates and they keep complaining about, sir, if you don't give me an opportunity, how will I ever be able to build my soft skill? First and foremost, let me tell you, soft skills are definitely your secret to success, right? Having well developed soft skills will truly give you a great advantage and a competitive edge against other people when you are applying for job or when you are now going into entrepreneurship. Either way, soft skills are the key. And how important is that? You can see a research done by Dale Carnegie Foundation and Stanford Research Center, which says, right, 85% success comes from well-developed soft skills and people skills. Because at the end of the day, yes, the machine will do its part, but you are still going to deal with human beings. And that's exactly where you want to grab the opportunity to be seen as a expert. All right. So these are the various changes that is happening in terms of the workspace, right? Globalization is going on rapidly. Technology changes are happening. We are now in a knowledge-based economy situation, and which means we are basically in an environment called VUCA. What is VUCA? VUCA. VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty. What is C? Hello. Complexity. All right. And A, ambiguity. So we live in an environment which is VUCA. All right. And in that situation, can you imagine we need to create a high performance workplace, high performance culture in ourselves so that we will be able to add more and more value for leaders, for organizations. And that is where we will be able to garner our bread and butter, right? So these are the various competencies, right, which is going to help you, right, improve your employability, right? Personal competency, interpersonal competency, and thinking skills. You know, I think if you are able to really critically think and analyze and question, right, you are definitely far better than 98% of the people in the country, because we have observed that more and more people are so lazy to think. They just like the idea for the boss to come and tell, do A, do B, do C. Why do you need to do A? How will A doing A add value to the company? What are the different possibilities of doing A effectively? Is never questions that we dare to ask, right? And that is so important. Critical thinking, creative thinking, innovative thinking is one of the greatest assets you can pick up. And that's going to really be very, very helpful for your life. All right. Now, here there was a research done, right? And the research shows that 77% of the employers say that soft skills are as important as hard skills. All right. And these are the different kinds of soft skills looked for by the industry. All right. Now, there's a very interesting rule of success, or Pareto rule for success, right? Which I've experienced, I've experimented, and I've seen its effectiveness. All right. What do you think is the 80 to 80%, and what do you think is 20% that will actually contribute to success? Right? In your respective chat box again, okay, can you please write what your answers are? And for whoever gets it right for both, you will actually walk away with a small gift of 20 ringgit. But the syarat is dua-dua kena betul ya. Okay, 20% faith, 80% effort, 80% effort, 20% luck. Determination 20, 80% support, interesting. 20% knowledge, 80% effort, 20% hard work, 80% mindset. 80% income comes from 20% customers. This is about your personal success, my friend, not business. Okay, 100% attitude, Priscilla. That's a very interesting observation. Okay. Sorry, terbalik. 80% determination, 20% support. Okay, interesting. 80% perspiration, 20% inspiration, 20% luck, 80% hard work and effort. Guys, I am not sure how many of you believe in something called luck. Okay, I've never believed in the word luck because luck doesn't exist. It is your effort. When it is then fruitful, it's considered luck. Okay, so the response here, okay, and I saved 20 bucks. Okay, because the answer here is 20% skills and 80% attitude. 20% skills and 80% attitude. Attitude of being hungry to learn, attitude for being proactive, attitude to your humility or being humble, right, are examples of attitudes that's going to take you very far in life. Have you heard of people, right, who are so successful, right, and they were known as the street smart people, not the book smart people, right? So street smart people are those who are very, very hardworking, very committed, very passionate, very hardworking, and they put in all the efforts, right, so that they are able to get the best of life, right? And it's their hard work and effort that eventually creates the success that they want. All right. Very good example that Nelly brought up. Slumdog Billionaire is a street smart character, right? And there are many, many more examples of street smart people who are successful today. So the secret to success is 20% skills and 80% attitude. If you want to change your success, if you want to change your, what do you call this, fate, your destiny, then you have to change your attitude. Your attitude is your secret to success. All right. Now, are there questions that I can be, sort of have an interaction and conversation? Can we get, people to unmute their mic? Helen?
Yeah, Helen, is there any questions that the students have brought up? So Helen will be assisting me as well.
Sure.
Yes,
Because we
you
have,
unmute the participant. So far, there's no questions in the chat room.
sorry, I forgot I'm talking to a crowd of Malaysians. Generally, when we do sessions for Malaysians, there are never questions. But guys, honestly, I mean, take this opportunity to ask questions and just be curious. There is no right or wrong. And we should not, in this conversation, think that, if you ask questions means you are foolish ke, or takut nampak macam bodoh ke, and all that. I think it should be a very open conversation where you can be very comfortable to ask, because it's your questions that's going to help you really get the answers, right? So I encourage you to feel free to ask questions. And if you do, right, if you're so shy then you can send the question privately to me, because the chat box gives you that privilege. All right, so you can send a private message, okay, to the host or co-host, all right, or send it directly to me, and I'll answer the question without mentioning where the question came from. All right, okay, so let's go on. I'm going to share with you, all right, something called the results pyramid. How many of you, all right, really want to be successful? How many of you want 100% results in your life? Put up your hands. Or, you know, using the Zoom, you can actually put a thumbs up there. Right? Zoom has got a very interesting function called thumbs up. Okay. Out of 42 people, we see 3 hands coming up. Okay, so only 3, 4, 5, 6 people wants to be successful. Fantastic. Okay, we got hope. All right. All right. So each and everybody wants to be successful. Yeah, I agree. And it's going to be fun to achieve success and get results that you want in life. But these results that you want in life will only come when you take 100% actions, right? Without actions, by just talking and talking and talking and daydreaming and daydreaming and daydreaming and playing with your mobile phone, you know, with all the social apps, you know, TikTok and what do you call, WhatsApp and Facebook and Messenger and Instagram and, you know, all the other things, right, is never going to bring you the results that you want in life, right? So your results will be a action that is going to bring you to your results, all right? And then what your actions are actually comes from your beliefs. So your belief system that you have built with, okay, over the years, where your environment has shaped you, your community has shaped you, the perspective and perception of people around us have shaped us, is going to create that whole set of belief system. How many of you have experienced where somebody, you know, as you're trying to do something in life, right, immediately, you know, your friends or your relatives, and these relatives are very popular for this, right, they will come and tell you, oh no, you cannot do it, are you stupid, really, you will fail. Right? By the time you can even think about wanting to do something, at least 10 people come and told you already you cannot do it. How many of you have experienced that before? Right? Again, put your thumbs up or put your hands up so I know that you have experienced something similar, where every time that you try to do something, there will be somebody who will come and tell you that you will not be able to be successful. Or they will come and tell you things like, are you sure? Are you really sure we can do? Hey, don't take the risk lah, you know, be safer. You know, that's not how we have been taught leh. You know, so the thinking process has now been shrunk to, oh, okay, this is what the society says, that's why I must follow. Oh, this is why my, you know, neighbors, grandmother's, what do you call, choo says, that's why I must follow, right? So it is all about what people have been telling us, and that is how our mind has been shaped, and that is how our belief systems have been shaped, right? And that is what I want to show you here, which is your experiences are the ones that will shape your belief, and your beliefs will now shape your actions, and your actions will now shape your results. Let me tell you why in Malaysia, generally when I do a workshop or a session, we will hardly have questions. You know why? Because in school we have been told, when every time you try to angkat tangan, ask teacher, shut up, put your hand down, come and see me in the teacher's room later. Half the time, you know why? Because the teacher doesn't know the answer. That's why she's shy to answer the question in public. All right? And that has now shaped our minds. Oh, cannot ask question, cannot ask question. Oh my God, no, cannot. Oh, scared. Right? So that perception has been built that if we were to ask question, you know what? I always had this fantastic remarks from every single teacher from primary school until secondary school that used to tell my father this. Wow, Cikgu Hasmukh, your son now, very good lah. But for ever the complaint will be, he always asks too many questions. He is always disrupting the class by asking questions. Half the time teachers don't like it because again, when you ask question and if they are caught off guard, right, they takut malu. So the easiest way is to tell you, no need to ask questions. But you'll be surprised, my dear friends, when I go to other foreign countries and I actually do similar workshops or sessions, we get hundreds of questions. By the time I go to my third slide or fourth slide, done. I don't have to bother looking at the subsequent slides anymore. Why? Because everybody will be like questioning something or having a different opinion to what we have said, and that triggers a lot of conversation. So the one thing I definitely want you to take away is please be curious. All right. Earlier I told you about, add value. All right. Now I want to add on to tell you, okay, be curious, because when you are curious, you will be hungry for knowledge. When you are hungry for knowledge, you will be hungry for experience. And when you are hungry for experience, you will be able to follow the results pyramid and see the results of your success. Right? So I hope this makes sense to you, right? Because your results and your actions in life, right? Sorry, your actions in life is going to determine your results. All right. So please be very, very mindful of the kind of experiences that you get. So be so hungry and get as much experience as you can, whether it's experience of being a secretary of a club, or whether it's going and doing free work, or whether it's going and becoming an intern for an organization, or just helping out your lecturers in the university. Anything can be an experience if you look at it from the lens of appreciative. So that's the third point, right? You should always look at life from an appreciative lens. Now, can you see this picture of water over here? Right? Okay. Now, what will you say? How much of water is left? Is it half bottle or 3/4 empty or 1/4 full? Okay, a few people can actually choose to unmute the mic and share that. Hello?
Hi, it's 1/4 full.
Who is this? She, is it?
Yeah.
Ah, wonderful. So that is definitely looking from an appreciative lens. Okay. So when you saw that bottle just now and you saw 1/4 full, that is looking at it from an appreciative lens, and you're telling yourself that there is still 1/4 bottle water available. But there would be enough people who would think that, oh my God, it's 3/4 empty. How now? What will happen? Right? So again, the way you look at things, right? So the third bullet point for the secrets of success would be the appreciative lens, okay, versus the deficit lens. All right, got that? Okay, and then let me move on, right? Next is about having a vision, having a goal, having clarity on what you want in life. My dear friends, when I was 17 years old, right, because I was volunteering in so many different clubs, societies, and all that stuff, I had the privilege and opportunity to be invited by United Nations. Speaking there was a stepping stone to opportunities to go and speak around the world, which has been like a dream come true, right? As I then grew up, right, getting into the university environment and all that, I told myself that by the age of 40, I want to be an international speaker, trainer, consultant, coach. All right. I said by the time I hit 40 years old, my dream is to become an international speaker, trainer, consultant, and coach. And I was pretty blessed that after all the sleepless nights, all the hard work, all the sacrifice, all the free work that I went around doing to create more and more experience for myself, right? I managed to achieve that 5 years earlier, right? By the age of 35, I had already achieved that target, right? So having clarity of vision, having clarity on your goal and knowing exactly what you want to do, where you want to go in life is definitely going to help you get one step closer to your goal. All right. So no vision, no success. Have you ever asked your friend, hey, brother, how are you doing? And the question will come like, huh? What do you mean? What am I doing or how am I doing? Okay lah, just pulling along, surviving. Right? Have you heard of that word before? Okay, okay lah, boleh lah, can survive lah. Right? Now, the intonation itself and the energy itself is like, you're going to die, right? But if you look at the other people who have got clarity on where they are going, people who have got clarity in the goal, they will always be like, hey, life is good lah, bro. Things are going okay. Even though if it's not okay, they will say okay, right? Yesterday, I met a friend of mine who's a very successful businessman, but recently had some financial challenges and he lost a couple of million ringgit and all that stuff, right? And no, I was really thinking that he's going to share with me his, sad stories and all that. But you know what? He said, hey, bro, money will come and go, lah, bro. We just have to work hard and we have to strategize and keep focus on our goal. We will achieve success. Don't worry. Speaking of a person who lost millions in the last 3 months, okay, he comes and tells me that. Now, what does that tell you? Mindset. What kind of mindset would help you get success? A mindset of forever complaining, forever looking at everything as a problem, everything looking at it from a difficulty perspective, and looking at everything from a negative standpoint, or looking at everything from optimism, possibility, appreciative mindset. So the way the mindset is shaped will help you determine where you go to. All right. So have a vision, be very clear about what you want, be very clear about where you want to go to, look at your strengths. Now, this is another thing which I want to share with you. In Malaysia, I've noticed generally, we tend to focus on our weaknesses. All right. So for example, Marcella, you are doing a good job, and as an MC, but, and then you will have 10 things that the person is not doing well, right? And then this poor person will now spend the whole life worrying about the few things that the person is not doing well, rather than focusing on the things that the person can do well, the person has strengths on, right? So imagine now, you focus on your strengths, you focus on what you are good at, you focus on the skills that you already have so that you're able to move forward. Which do you think will help you get to your success easily? Focusing on your strengths or focusing on your weaknesses?
Strengths.
Strengths, right? We know for a fact that strengths is what we need, right? However, we will always have the situation where we will always doubt ourselves. And that is a real situation because that's something that we all face, right? It's called the self-doubt. Every time, again, it goes back to, the upbringing, the culture, the people that we surrounded ourselves. My dear friends, let me tell you this from my own experience. If you want to be successful, be very careful of who your people that you surround yourself with are. Are they the positive people who will push you so that you become successful? Or are they the people who will make you feel horrible and pull you down? If you want to move up in life, move with the lions and the tigers in the country. Don't waste your time talking to people who every time that you share something, yeah, I understand. I'm also having the same problem. But you should be dealing with people that whenever you say something like, hey, that's not difficult. Let's do A, B, C, D, E. You will be able to push your way through moving forward. You see? So my spiritual mentor and master, right? always says this. He says, tell me your 5 friends and I will tell you who you become. And that is so true. Along the way, I started to change the circle of people that I spend my time with. All right. So the more and more I spend time with people who are positive, very appreciative, who always express gratitude, who always focus on their strengths so that they can move forward, suddenly I realized that I am also able to move in the direction with them. But previously, I had a group of friends who at least 70 to 80% of them, whenever sit down in the mama shop, while having our standard Malaysian roti canai and teh tarik, the conversation is all about, oh, this is the problem. Oh, the lecturer is horrible. Oh, the lecturer's husband is ugly looking. Oh, the lecturer's son is irritating character. Oh, the principal of the school or the dean of the faculty is horrible. So they have got all the negative things to come and tell you, but they cannot find anything positive, right? So what we need to do is to surround ourselves with the right people. And when I say the right people, these are people who will be your source of inspiration, source of support, source of power to help you move forward. All right. So surround yourselves with the right people, then you will be able to see a lot of possibilities showing up for you. Right. So there is a very good question, and thank you, Hazim. Can we all please give a virtual clap to Hazim, right, for being the first person to ask questions, right? Hazim, thank you so much for the question. And Hazim's question is, how do we want to know it is the goal, something that is possible for us to achieve? Is there a batasan or had for your goal? The only batasan and the only had is in your head and nowhere else, right? What your mind can perceive is what you can achieve, right? I had never thought, right, that my hobby of traveling, my passion in engaging with people and speaking will take me to 40 over countries. Never in my life I thought that I will have at least about 30 countries where I travel because people are paying for my travel fare, right? So the only restriction that you have, the only batasan that can be is the batasan in your mind. And the batasan in your mind comes because of the kind of people that you have surrounded yourself with in the young age right up to now. If you come and see me and you talk to me, I'll tell you, sky is the limit. Anything and everything is possible. Guys, let's not go far. How many of you are on Facebook? Put a thumbs up or a wave.
Instagram.
Okay, Instagram. Okay. Only 4 people are on Facebook. Very good lah. Malaysia is not going to be that rich. Or Mark Zuckerberg is so upset with all of you. Okay. All right. Okay. If Mark Zuckerberg, right, was thinking about, oh, this is all I'm capable of. Oh, this is the only thing I'm capable of. Will you think he will be one of the youngest billionaires in the world? Right? So there is never a restriction or limit to your goal. When you are doing goal setting, dream big. Aim for the moon and you will land on the stars. But if you aim for, probably 5, you may only get 1. But aim for 100, you will get 80. Right? I still remember my father telling me that when I was going to school, right? And getting good results was supposed to be a norm because you know why? I'm a teacher's son. Trust me, the amount of pressure and mental torture I went through in life, okay? Right? So when you aim for 100, you might land on an 80. But if you set yourself up to fail and land on, or sort of, target yourself to hit, say 10, you probably get 5. So you will find that when you set a high target, a high goal, you will be able to achieve it. Why? Because the energy, the excitement to achieve that is so high, you will continuously push yourself, right? You'll be so hungry to achieve that goal. Why? Because that goal is so important to you, right? Some goals, right, you can set it on a year during your first January New Year resolution, but you will continuously fail. And I'm not very, proud, but let me tell you the truth. I have been setting weight loss for the past 10 years in my life as a goal. Until today, not a single kilogram has ever gone down. Right? Why? Because I have never ever put effort onto it. Why? Because for me, everything else is so important, right? Weight loss, never mind lah. Every time the coat doesn't fit me anymore, yay, opportunity to buy a new one, right? But if I were to focus, if I were to set my mind to it, right? And I know that there is something so important, then what will happen? I will start focusing on what I can do to achieve that. So at the end of the day, it is about putting your heart and mind and soul to that goal and making it possible. Next formula which I want to share with you, all right, which is not on the slide, but probably you can write this down, is the 3H. 3H. The first H is the head, what you think. Second H is your heart, which is what you feel. And number 3 is your hands, what you do. If you really want to be successful, then you must make sure that there is a consistency, congruence between your head, your heart, and your hands. There must be consistency between your head, your heart, and your hands. Because many at times we get in trouble where the head tells us we must do A, B, C. But then the heart will say, alamak, no need lah, it's okay lah. And then the hands or the body will not act accordingly. And that's the same thing that's happening in the situation of weight loss. Why? Because the brain is telling, hello, you better start losing weight before your cholesterol goes up and then you die of a heart attack. However, what is happening? The heart is saying, ayo, malas lah. And then the body doesn't react and wants to act on it. Because why? Malas lah. Right? So the consistency of 3H, right? Head, heart, hands is so critical, so important for you to achieve success. Are we good?
Yes.
All right. Now, I want you to just sort of, sorry.
I'm sorry, sir. We have a question actually.
Sure.
We have to overlook. Yeah.
Okay.
The question is, since you mentioned about looking at things, whether in a positive way or negative way, what if we look at things in a realistic way?
I like that. So, you can look at things from a realistic way, but from the lens of positive rather than a lens of negative. I give you a good example. Reality is this, that getting a job in the next 3 months is almost impossible. So now you can choose to look at that situation from a negative lens and start feeling horribly depressed, horribly down, frustrated, angry, irritated, complain, and be so vulnerable in that sense. Or you can keep telling yourself, hey, 3 months, difficult to find a job, but you know what? I will not waste my life. I will now spend my time on LinkedIn connecting with HR people. I will now do knowledge sharing. I will go and improve myself. I will keep upgrading myself and I'll continue keep sending at least 10 profiles and CVs out on a daily basis, and I will be persistent about it. So when you are focusing, you are not focusing at the deficit and what cannot happen. You are focusing on the possibility, right? So what happens now is you are looking at life and you know the truth. Like I'm saying, the truth is getting a job in the next 3 months is not going to be easy. You know that, I know that for a fact. But now, if you look at it, if you look at that reality from the lens of deficit, you will be feeling down, depressed, horribly upset. But if you look at it from an appreciative lens, you will start thinking about what can you possibly do? How can you possibly engage, in internships? And what is going to be possible, right? It is your mindset that's going to help you decide whether you get that opportunity or not. right? It is the lens that you look, it's what's going to help you. So I hope I've answered that question. And yeah, Nelly, congratulations to your sister, right? You see, during the first week of MCO, right, her sister, Nelly's sister, actually got a job. That's amazing, right? I know of a friend of mine, okay, a HR director, right? She was working in an organization with a 55,000 ringgit salary. And last week she tells me, Sunil, you know what? I've now gotten a new job offer. I am now going into another organization. I cannot reveal the name to you now, but soon, if you get in touch with me, I'll tell you where. Right? She's going into a bank with 85,000 ringgit salary. Salary jumps by 30,000 bucks during the peak of people going through retrenchment, right? And the most challenging time is when she's getting multiple job offers. It's possible. The only question is, what is the lens that you look at? You look at deficit, you will complain, 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 complain. If you look at positive and appreciative lens, you will keep trying, 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 and giving your best shot to try to show your value, right? Yes, Chi. Unmute Chi,
Hi.
please. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
So okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Sometimes okay. I think that I'm a very negative person, but sometimes I think it's good as well because I feel like some people that are positive, they take it like too easy. For example, like if tomorrow I have one event, I'm organizing one event. So if because I have a negative thinking, so I will think all the bad things, all the negative thing that will happen tomorrow. I will think like, okay, what if I don't get enough participants? What if something happened? What if? So my friend eventually she will tell me like, don't think so much. It's okay. Everything will be fine and all that. I always have a backup plan because I always think of the uh every
Worst case
like
scenario.
yes was all these kind of things. So I feel like negative thinking is not that bad actually. It makes you like to improve yourself as well. Do I have a right mindset or I'm crazy?
Nope, you are not crazy. That is what I call risk management and risk planning. And that's what my job in Petronas was. I'll give you a very interesting scenario, and I know I'm going to embarrass myself, but it's okay. Right. How many of you have gone to Genting Highlands before? Okay. You know, in Genting Highlands, there is this roller coaster, right? And you know, there's a game called what? Solero Shot. The one where you go all the way up and then suddenly you have got a free fall.
It's a big shot, is it?
Yeah, the big shot or something like
Uh,
that. My father and I will never go for that. Father and son will have an ice cream holding the mother and sister's handbag, and we'll be walking around. Okay. And father and mother and daughter will go for all this. You know why? Because I come from a risk management background in Petronas, right? So from a risk management perspective, my thought will be like, oh my God, look at that. There is the chain. Now in the chain, there is going to be a screw, a mechanical engineering mind, okay? Now that screw, all I need is that one screw to come out. This is what's going to happen, right? So that's it. So that whole concern and worry made me never enjoy any of these rides. In fact, when I went to Universal Studio also, right, I never tried any of those dangerous and thriller rides. Okay. I used to enjoy the games and those small ones, play the card, all that. I don't all can lie. But at the end of the day, I realized risk management helps a lot, but that should not be your main focus. And I'll give you an example, what you just mentioned. So you have put in enough effort to organize an event, right? So when you are organizing the event, your thinking will be you must do your best in terms of your marketing, your reaching out, your reminders and all that stuff. What happens on that day? Surrender it to the universe. I always believe in this. Give your best shot. Go all out in terms of everything that you do, but always surrender the results to God or to universe or to whatever you believe in, because you know why? There is only so much we can do, right? So we should always give our best shot, go all out, give our 100%, but then eventually don't beat ourselves up, right? When the outcome is not exactly as what you wanted. One of the reasons why we tend to struggle and suffer, right, and our self-esteem drops It's because we have got that target or the expectation, and when the expectation is not met, we beat ourselves up by saying that we are not good enough. As long as you know you have done your best, right? That's the most important thing, right? Work hard, give your best shot, and then surrender the results, right?
All right.
But then again, the question comes, what is defined as your best shot?
Yes.
Some people's best shot mean I send one WhatsApp, that's my best shot. That's nonsense, right? Sending 10 reminders to the different groups and like, guys, the event is going on now. Come, 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 come. Gung ho, push the energy, right? That is what it means by best shot, right? So again, the definition of best shot could be different for different individuals, right? However, as long as you can sleep peacefully, knowing that you have given your best, right? You should be able to not worry about it. Because the more you worry, the more it's going to cause trouble. But thinking from a risk management standpoint will help you plan your action, right? So what if it rains tomorrow? Okay, guys, you know what? One day before, let's have a canopy. Or if it's an outdoor activity, you will also book your day one in the university. Why? Because in case it rain, you move everything indoor. That is called strategic thinking, right? So your concern or your risk management can trigger your strategic thinking because you will now think from all possible angles what could go right, what could go wrong. Before something goes wrong, you will make sure that you have a solution before the possibility of a problem comes. So that is called proactive thinking. So you are definitely not wrong in thinking of the possible problems. I do that. Even in my business now, right? I am very clear about how many months of cash reserve I have. At what point am I going to start applying for a job? Because I'm a consultant, I've got my own companies, right? But if this whole situation goes on and on and on for the next probably 1 year, I may have to, bungkus kedai lah, or temporarily shut down the business, go back into employment, right? So guess what? I already have done that. I've already spoken to 3 or 4 very senior HR friends, and I told them that if by December business doesn't continue as how I want it to be, okay, I will apply for job. You all hire me in your company, okay, and I will laugh it out. So that is my risk management planning, right? Knowing that I can go on up to in December from a financial safety net perspective. Come December, I have got another 3 months reserve, and then I will have no choice but to go back into the corporate employment space, right? So that is all about strategic thinking, and that's nothing wrong. So don't feel that, oh my God, I'm thinking negatively. No, that's not negative thinking. That is called risk management and risk planning, which is very, very important, especially when you are dealing with your life, when you're dealing with events, when you're dealing with anything. You must always know what is the best case scenario, and you must also know what is the worst case scenario. And when and if the worst case scenario happens, how are you going to find a solution to it, right? That is critical thinking.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
awesome, good. Now
Sir,
that yes,
there's another question. How
wonderful.
about those, they have the fear itself to dream big? How can we like address them, like to give solution for them? They have this fear to dream big itself.
So I'm curious to ask, right? Why is there a fear of dreaming big? Because dreaming doesn't cost you money. Dreaming doesn't allow other people to know your dream, right? So you see, some people are scared to tell their big dreams to their family, right? Why? Because will kena kutuk, kena insult, kena humiliate. But now for you to sit and think big and visualize and say, okay, this is what's going to happen in my life, so I don't see a reason why you must have a fear of dreaming big. But suppose you do have a fear of dreaming big, I will ask you 3 questions, or I will give you 3 points. Number one, really think again how important is that goal for you. And if the goal is so important for you, then you will be able to work towards it and achieve it. Number two, always remember that dreaming big for what you want in life is a choice. So you can make that choice and still live fearlessly, because that dream is what you want. All right. And number three, remember that when you dream big, you will be able to inspire yourself to move forward. Some people don't get excited with small initiatives or programs. Have you realized that? When I have to sit and do little things, I don't get excited. But when suddenly someone comes and tells me, Sunil, we have to do a nationwide initiative, let's jump into it. I give you a good example. And thanks for that question, right? um, December 9th, 2011. If you go and find the Star newspaper article, it says 1 out of 3 parents were abandoned in the old folks' home. That's the Malaysia stats, okay? By the way, okay? Now, when that information came out in the newspapers, the very next day, I was invited by Bernama News and I was interviewed on that particular issue. So my mentor, who is a professor in University Malaya, and I were driving to Angkasa Puri for the interview. And in the car, we are just thinking, hey, what is this, man? We talk about honoring and loving our parents and surga di tapak kaki ibu, and the fourth commandment of Christianity is, honor thy parents, what mother and father, and every religion teaches us to love and respect our parents. How on earth in this beautiful country, Malaysia, we can have 1 in 3 parents being abandoned in the old folks home? We couldn't take that nonsense. We say enough is enough, must do something about it. Immediately we launched an initiative called Honor Our Parents Every Day, a massive nationwide project, right, which we invested so much of our time, energy, money over 1 year. And not only that, the year after, we actually took that event to an ASEAN level, where we had countries like Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, and others coming to Malaysia for the Human Value Drama Festival. My dear friends, the greatest joy and experience of my life was organizing a mega event of that nature. But you ask me to organize small, tiny events, okay, I will just do for the sake of it, but the excitement won't be there. But this one, every day after work, we will be in the professor's house discussing, designing, writing documents, coming up with execution plans, strategies. Why? Because it's so exciting to do big stuff. So similarly in your life, when you want to do something, work towards a big goal, because that is going to keep you so inspired and motivated. I know that a lot of people, right, feel scared because you are afraid that you cannot actually achieve it. Guys, your greater fear should not be about failing. Your greater fear should be fearing of taking no action in life, because the wasted life is defined as a life where you do absolutely nothing. If you dream big and you are working towards that big dream and suddenly you kick the bucket and something doesn't happen, you can still be proud that, hey, I was working towards that big dream of mine in life, right? So don't be fearful of having big dreams because you may fail. You should be ashamed of yourself if you cannot even dream big and work towards it. All right. So that is to respond in terms of your dreaming big. So it's okay to dream big. Give yourself the permission to dream big, and do not allow anyone to belittle that dream. If anybody comes and tells you that your dream is wrong, oh, your way, you will be able to achieve it, you know what I will advise you to do, my dear friends? Cut your relationship with such people. You don't need this kind of negative aura and negative energy around you, right? It might be difficult, but I'm telling you that could be the best thing for yourself, right? Dylan has asked a question here, all right? Dream big is good, but for me, if the attitude is not good, how big is your dream? You will still fail. And very well said, Dylan. That's the truth. You can dream big, and that dream must actually become a motivation and inspiration for you to reshape, realign your, what you call, actions to get you to your dreams, right? If you are always surrounded with people who are negative, then the answer is cut them off. Stay away from negative people, because at the end of the day, these negative people will pull you down, right? And never allow you to get to your objectives and your destination. All right. So that is on the questions that you have just asked. And thank you so much. Finally, we see some good questions coming up. All right. Now, I'm going to skip a few of the slides, okay, and share with you this, all right, the 4D to success. Okay, wait, there's a very interesting question here. What if your family don't support our dream? Thank you so much, Haimin, for the question. Now, this is something I know my Indian brothers and sisters will actually be able to relate. If you are an Indian in Malaysia, especially, if you're not a doctor, if you're not a lawyer, if you're not an engineer, you are considered a bloody failure in your life. All right, go and ask your close Indian friends, and they'll smile and tell you, "Oh my God, Sunil is right." Okay, because I fall in the category. I give you a good example. I am so clear that my passion, my purpose in life is to help other people, to empower other people, to enrich other people's life. And I knew for a fact I want to be out there being a keynote speaker, being a trainer, and being a coach to help people so that people can achieve their own success in life. However, when I decided to leave Petronas after 10 years of working with them, do you know, until today, and I really, really literally mean until today, there are people who go and tell my parents, "Oh my God, Chegu Hashmukh, what is wrong with your son? Is he stupid? How can you allow him to leave such a good paying job with such fantastic bonuses in Petronas so that he will be able to pursue his dream? What nonsense is this? Talking to people and trying to make money, you think he's going to ever become rich?" Standard dialogue which I've heard from at least 100 people in the last 5 years of me leaving the organization, right? Until today, there are people who will go and comment such things to my parents, right? Even my father initially was not supportive. Let me tell you that. In the 5th year of working in Petronas, when I told my father, "Papa, I want to leave and focus on building up my own company and all that," my father said, "Son, can I suggest you not to leave your, safety net now, but do your business or your training consulting on a part-time basis, and then after some time when you have enough of savings, then you leave." Year 9 in Petronas, December 24th. I still remember there was a new hotel in Genting Highlands that was opened up, and I took my family up there, mother, father, and sister, and me. We went for a vacation in Genting Highlands, what, Eon Delmont or something like that, a hotel, right? When we went there, I actually brought along this file. Where is that file? It's something like this file, okay? I brought along a file like this, which actually had the company's accounts, all right? And right after dinner on the first day, after going to, the, what do you call, First World Hotel for dinner, we came back. I actually opened the file and I showed my father. I said, "Papa, part-time, I have managed to make this much of money. This is my execution plan. This is how I have managed to save money. This is how I'm going to make more money. This is how I'll be able to survive as a trainer and a freelancer out there." And you know what? On Christmas Day, okay, my father tells me, "Son, you have my blessings. I have been observing your hard work and I've been observing all the efforts that you've been putting in to build the business. I can see your passion in it. You can now go out there and do exactly what you want. You have our blessing and you have our fullest support." So, what does this story tell you? That yes, initially when you try to do something, your parents will say no, your family may say no, because they are protective. They are concerned about your financial well-being. They care about you, they love you. That is why they say no, right? But what you can do is, without having to get out of what they want in the initial stages, just start doing things on part-time basis. Sacrifice your sleep. Guys, I have had not more than 3 hours of sleep, right, for at least 4 or 5 years in my life. I'm not encouraging you to do the same. It's not a safe thing to do, right? But that is what I did. Sacrifice so much. I never had time to go out with friends. I never had time for Friday night parties, Saturday night parties. Sunday go for long drive and go for brunch and lepak with girlfriend. All that. No time for all that. Because my priority was HC Consultant group of companies, right? And I worked towards it. All the blood, sweat, tears, chest pain paid off. Let me tell you how bad it could get to, okay? While I was in Petronas in my 4th year, I had the invitation from Indonesia to go and speak and deliver a keynote on interfaith topic because that's some area of my interest and my passion. And I do a lot of social work in the area of interfaith. And can you imagine there are 45 or 50 ministers from Asia Pacific countries coming to Indonesia, Jakarta, to attend that particular interfaith forum. And I am invited as a keynote speaker, which can be the most exciting thing ever. 2 days later, my boss had told me to fly to Japan to go and conduct a 5 days workshop. When I come back the week after from Japan and I land in Kuala Lumpur, immediately I had that opportunity to speak at the opening of the Malacca International Youth Dialogue. So it was this exciting 2 weeks of traveling, which I enjoy, and speaking engagements, which is what I love to do. So guess what? I really, really worked very hard to make sure I'm able to finish my master's dissertation, right? You know, thesis, right? Like how you all have your degree, punya project, your thesis. Same thing, I had my master's dissertation. I wanted to get that submitted. I was also leading a team of people to do some work for the Pengerang Integrated Complex project, right? Because I was the one of the youngest risk and governance team member, and I was supposed to complete some work. So I did not sleep for 4 nights. 4 nights of no sleep, all right? And then I went to one of the Rotary clubs in Kuala Lumpur to give a talk. And as I was driving back, I actually met in a massive accident near Pencalaling. For those of you who are from KL or who are familiar with KL, you will know where One Utama is, the curve. That area, there's a highway called Pencalaling. So I actually met with a accident which would have literally taken my life because the car was a total loss. The damage was so bad that nobody ever could believe that Sunil, who is in the car, would be alive, right? But I walked out of that place. I walked out of that accident with not a single scratch on my body, with not a single drop of blood in my body. And it became to me that I have got a newer purpose. Before that, my objective and my mindset is all about money, 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 bonus, 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 how much of money I can get, how much of property I can get. It's all about the wealth. It was never about my passion. It was never about my purpose. But after that accident, I was on leave for 2 weeks, and that 2 weeks became a life changing experience because I then realized the purpose of my life is to enrich and empower people's life. And that is what I do now. Whether I make money out of it or whether I just do it for free, I just feel so good, so inspired to continue inspiring other people. All right. So this is my humble sharing with all of you. And the 4 secrets or the 4D, okay, to success will be your number one, which is make a decision that you really, really want to do. Number two, have a clear direction. Number three, have a clear destination of where you want to go to. And number four, have the discipline. The one thing that will stop you from achieving your big dreams and your big goals is discipline. So discipline is the key that's going to help you get to your success, right? Now, I want to just sort of show you one last thing, right, before we end, all right? This would be and this should be like a wake-up call to all of you. And I really hope that you will learn that, number one, having big dreams is going to help you get to where you want to go to. Number two, always look at life from an appreciative lens. Number three, always be courageous, be hungry, be proactive, and always look at what kind of personal value you can add to people. Number four, always do what you love to do. Don't worry about the outcome. Work on your passion. And number five, remember, you are destined for success. My dear friends, brothers and sisters, I wish you all the very best. And if there's any further questions, you can reach out to me. Okay, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, you can connect with me on WhatsApp, right? And feel free to ask. If there are questions, I'll be happy to take them.
Any
Helen, over to you.
questions?
Yep.
Sunil,
Any questions from the students?
All right, this is Madam Jennifer. I'm the advisor for PERFEP.
Hi, madam. How are you?
Can you guys? Hi, I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for
I
joining us.
think we need more time with you, but then we are only allocated for 1.5 hours.
Okay.
I would like to know, do you have any social media page that we can, besides your LinkedIn, that we can actually look out for, like Facebook or
Yeah.
maybe Instagram, that sometimes there are days when we need motivation that we can
Sure.
actually look at your Facebook page or
Sure.
maybe your
Yeah.
your Instagram that we can go to. Do you have any?
Sure. Yes. So I do have Facebook. It is filled with 5,000 people, but quickly go at me. I will remove some
Wow.
people and add a few of you.
Wow.
Wow.
I,
How about
I,
Instagram?
yeah. So I've got a page that I've created already. It is now at the stage of loading more information there. So yeah, please feel free to go like the page. It's called Sunil Hasmukharay, just my full name. All right. And then we can connect on that. And then of course, LinkedIn is something that I have started to spend a bit of my time on in the last 1 year only. So there's a fair bit of things there.
I see.
And Jane, I would be happy, right? If we want, I can, schedule sometime next week or the week after another round of conversation, but no presentation,
Sure.
rather just sharing sahaja, right? So if you have, a group of people who wants to have
Yes, that would be
conversation,
good.
we call it the coaching conversations, right? So I'm happy to, sort of connect with y'all, spend an hour and a half like this, but more of responding to your
True.
curiosities, answering to your questions, sharing experiences that will help you all.
Good. Because
Yeah,
MCO has actually pulled some people down,
sure.
especially in terms of motivation, in terms of being too worried. And then these students, they're actually very worried about their oncoming classes that is going to resume in less than 2 weeks. So I
Confirm.
believe they need more motivation from you, Mr.
Oh,
Sunil.
Jane. Boleh. No, but is it confirm balik ke university tak?
No.
Come again.
Until end of
Until
December.
December.
Until December tak balik campus
Yes,
lagi kan?
until December.
Online
Online,
classes.
online
Online
teaching, yeah,
classes.
online
Ah,
classes. Yes.
correct. So yeah,
So
I'm
I
happy
believe
to
we need
connect
more
with you all.
motivation. Yeah.
Sure.
Some
Happy
already
to
give
do that.
up.
I don't know.
Believe
For those who
lecturers need some motivation too.
you be surprised, Miss Jane. Asia Pacific University, the entire top management and the lecturers actually had a session with me 2 weeks ago. We spoke
That is
about the
good.
solution focused conversation skills. So yeah, if you want, I can even do that because I have got the ready
Yeah,
material. I've been sharing that with so many stakeholders. I'll be happy to do that for your university lecturers as well.
I see. Because
Yeah,
yeah, I know the big changes are coming to everyone. Are not coming. It's
yeah,
already changing a lot. Our life is changing a lot. So some people are not used to change, and some people take time to actually uh, um, accept changes. All right.
correct.
So that's why
Correct.
we actually appreciate your presence here today, Mr. Sunil,
No
and
problem.
we look forward to see more of this kind of fruitful session with you.
More than happy to. Let me know anytime. I just love the idea of
Right.
sharing and seeing how we can uplift people. And I think what's really important, like I said again, look at this entire what do you call MCO as an opportunity. For me, MCO has been the best thing that ever happened in my entire life because I've been so busy. I've been so busy. If you look at my Facebook and you all follow me, you will realize I'm not more than 10 days in Malaysia. I'm traveling so extensively, right? So to sit down and be able to arrange and go through this close to 2,000 books that I have here, right? To develop new knowledge, to really sit down and connect with people and talk and have fun and learn has been MCO. So secretly, I hope MCO continues, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah, we make use of this MCO to actually reflect on ourselves, right? So
Yeah.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So maybe Helen can actually have her last few words for the session. Helen, back to
Uh,
you.
Yes, Masi.
I will take over. Well said, Mr. Sunil. Actually, that's true. There are like many things that we actually can do during this MCO, and you have said that we should look at things in a appreciative lens. So yes, MCO is also we have to look at it in an appreciative way, and also we have to start dreaming and creating our visions and all. So it's a very good thing actually. I also gained from your slot today, Mr. Sunil. So we Perfect, we are very honored to have you here with us, and we hope that in future we also will collaborate with you, and we will have coaching sessions with our students as well. So thank you very much, sir, and I will hand over to Pearl.
All right. Thank you so much. On behalf of PERFEP, I also would like to say thank you to every single one of you that's spending your time to join this series. Students from different universities and also publics, we are indeed very grateful for your presence in this series. We hope that you will gain more knowledge from this series and use it for the better future. Can we do that? Can do it, right? So
Yes.
we would like to see you again in the future. Stay safe, stay at home, and we all in this together. With this, I pass to, is it Helen? Helen, you are next for the next
Yeah.
session of the series.
Okay, right. Since this is our last series, now I would like to invite our program director of this Perfect webinar series, Mida, to give a speech. Just a short one.
Okay, so behalf of Perfect Faculty of Economics Business Unimas, we would like to thank our TT HEPA, Dr. Azira, and Perfect advisors, Madam Jennifer and Madam Esme for their endless support. We would also like to thank our amazing societies, Sigma, Unimac, SPAD, SMART, FinS, and the supportive advisor for collaborating with us. Without you guys, this program would not be a success. Besides that, we would like also thank our our special speaker, Mr. Sunil, once again for joining our webinar session. As a token of appreciation, we will email an e-certification for your contribution as an honorable speaker. Once again, thank you so much everyone for your support and making this program a success. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mida.
Thank you.
All right, now it will be a group photo session. So I would like to invite all participants to turn on your camera, show me your beautiful and handsome face.
Yay, photo time. This is everyone's
Hello.
favorite time. Suhaiza is setting it for us.
Hey guys, you guys boleh unmute you guys punya.
All right.
Eddie, can you turn on your camera, please? Okay, is everyone ready? I count 1, 2, 3, then we'll take one. Okay?
Yes, I've got
Hey.
somebody who wants to join in as well.
All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Crystal. All right. All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much again, Mr. Sunil, for joining us.
Perfect
It's
Mental
really an
Society, please stay.
honor.
Most welcome. Right. Just one quick sharing. Right. I have access to a lot of professional speakers and trainers because I'm currently the president for the Malaysian Association of Professional Trainers and Speakers. Professional trainers and coaches, and I'm also a member of the Speakers Association. So if you're looking for some, good speakers, to come and share, just reach out to me. I'll connect you with some of the excellent people that I know who will be very, very happy to come and share knowledge and inspire all of you as well. All right.
Sure,
Okay.
Wonderful.
sir. Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Sunil.
No worries. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
Sir. Have a nice day, sir.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, for the students, those who haven't scanned the